What a decade it's been.
You seem to be doing all right so far.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 MCU movies. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking back at 10 years worth of Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and deciding which 10 are our favorites. Number 10, Doctor Strange.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is no stranger to fantasy, but the first cinematic appearance of the Master of the Mystic Arts kicked things up a notch or two. When brilliant neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange has his hands mangled in a brutal car wreck, his search for a treatment leads him down a pretty unexpected path, one that ends with him as Earth's newest magical protector. With psychedelic visuals and epic fight scenes that combine spellcasting and martial arts, this is definitely one of the most visually dazzling entries in the MCU, and that's saying something. Thankfully, we don't need the Eye of Agamotto to turn back time and watch it again.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Number 9, Thor Ragnarok.
Kneel. Before your queen.
Let's be honest, the first few entries of Thor weren't the most exciting films the MCU had to offer, but the third installment changed that in a big way. Combining director Taika Waititi's trademark humor with a futuristic aesthetic inspired by the art of Jack Kirby, the film is an absolute blast from the start to finish. In addition to familiar faces like Thor, Loki, and Heimdall, the film also introduces a whole whack of new characters to the MCU, and we'd be excited to see any of them return for more movies. Come on, Marvel, give us that Korg spin-off, you know you want to.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Korg. I'm kind of like the leader in here. I'm made of rocks, as you can see, but don't let that intimidate you.
Number 8, Avengers Infinity War.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
Infinity War is by far Marvel Studios' most ambitious project to date, bringing together practically all of its major characters for an epic confrontation with the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. Once again, Joe and Anthony Russo pull off a giant crossover event that feels like a comic book come to life, but it's Josh Brolin's Thanos that simply steals the show. There's more to Thanos than meets the eye, and while seeing this enormous cast of characters come together is something fans have been eagerly waiting for, they couldn't possibly have anticipated what Infinity War ultimately delivers. Number 7, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Finally.
For years, Marvel fans have wanted to see the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man finally join the MCU to appear alongside the other Marvel heroes, and our prayers were finally answered in a big way. After appearing in Captain America: Civil War, the Webhead swung into his first solo MCU adventure, and the result was everything we wanted, and more.
Can't you just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
For starters, we got a fantastic new Spidey in Tom Holland, to say nothing of the incredible supporting cast. And really, who would have ever thought that the Vulture would turn out to be a great and memorable villain? The Vulture! We wouldn't have called that one.
I'll kill you dead. That's what I'll do to protect my family, Pete. You understand?
Number 6, Black Panther.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
Another newcomer to the MCU who had his debut in Civil War, the King of Wakanda's first cinematic solo outing quickly became one of the most beloved and successful comic book movies ever. Not just in the MCU, and when you watch it, it's not hard to see why. Ryan Coogler's film is a brilliant and visually breathtaking offering that perfectly balances superhero action with powerful and relevant themes. And that's not even getting into Michael B. Jordan's performance as Killmonger, a villain who people are already calling one of the best in the history of the MCU.
I waited my entire life for this.
We have just 2 words for you: Wakanda Forever. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by.
Star-Lord.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
When Marvel announced that this practically unknown superhero team, which includes a talking raccoon and his buddy the sentient tree, were getting their own movie, we thought they'd finally gone off the deep end. But imagine our surprise when the end product wasn't just a fantastic movie, but one of the most fun, engaging MCU films to date.
That's a fake laugh.
It's real!
The film manages the almost impossible feat of being a rollicking space rock opera and one of the most emotionally engaging comic book movies ever made. And that's on top of introducing characters who've since skyrocketed in popularity, going from little known to household names almost instantly.
They'll be fine, Day. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. You? Yeah, me.
Number 4. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Part superhero epic, part taut spy thriller, Captain America's second adventure came out of the gate running. Literally.
Say it. Don't you say it.
Left.
Come on!
When Cap uncovers a Hydra-orchestrated conspiracy within the ranks of S.H.I.E.L.D., he and the Black Widow go rogue to stop the sinister Hydra before they can unleash a fleet of helicarriers on an unsuspecting public. Things only get more complicated when Cap learns the true identity of the Winter Soldier, Hydra's top assassin. While it's common for middle films in a trilogy to be the weakest in the series, the second Captain America film breaks that trend in a gloriously badass fashion.
Bucky?
Who the hell is Bucky?
Number 3. Iron Man.
My turn.
The one, the only, the movie that started it all. The first film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is still one of the very best. The film came out of nowhere and took the world by storm with its action, charm, and world building, taking a relatively unknown hero and turning him into one of the most recognizable characters in pop culture.
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without Robert Downey Jr., stepping into the boots of a role that reignited his career and the ever-reliable Jon Favreau behind the camera. In the years since, MCU films have gotten bigger, but very rarely better.
I am Iron Man.
Number 2. The Avengers.
What have I to fear?
The Avengers. That's what we call ourselves.
When Samuel L. Jackson made his surprise appearance at the end of Iron Man, the countdown officially began to a film that comic book fans had been dreaming of for decades. Over the next several years, Marvel carefully set the stage for the biggest superhero epic the world had ever seen, and when it finally hit screens, it surpassed even our wildest expectations. Marvel could have buckled under the pressure of bringing together Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, and numerous other characters from their extensive roster of heroes, but instead, they made comic book movie history with a film that remains one of their absolute best. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
What are you doing here? First off, I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man.
How do you feel?
Taller.
You look taller.
Drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Number 1. Captain America: Civil War.
I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart. You did that when you signed.
You want to know the one thing harder than making a great middle film in a trilogy? Making the third film the absolute best of them all. Captain America's third adventure sees the Avengers torn apart when legislation is introduced that would place them under direct UN control. And the question over what to do with the enigmatic Winter Soldier only makes it worse. There's no other film we can think of that better balances superhero action, serious themes, and gut-wrenching emotional drama. To say that Marvel hit this one out of the park is an understatement.
He's my friend. So was I.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.